Hi, grade 2, how are you? Our lesson today will be the pictograph. Pictograph. What's the meaning of pictograph? The word pictograph means the picture graph. So the word pictograph means the picture graph. Okay, the picture graph here, this is for an example for the picture graph. Why do you call this graph a picture graph? Because this graph uses pictures to show informations. Okay, so this pictograph about tomatoes. Okay, um, first, this pictograph we said about tomatoes. A farmer picked tomatoes from his farm. He picked in day 1 these tomatoes, and he picked in day 2 these number of tomatoes, and day 3 and day 4. Okay, the important thing to know how many number or how many tomatoes in each day. If I asked you how many tomatoes in day 1, for example, normally you will count the number of tomatoes that you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? No, it's not true. We have something new in this pictograph. We call this the key of the pictograph. What's the meaning of the key? The key of the pictograph. The key of the pictograph tells you how many tomatoes each picture here stands for. Each tomato in this pictograph stands for 5 tomatoes. That means this picture doesn't mean 1 tomato. No, this picture means 5 tomatoes. 5 tomatoes. And this picture also means 5 tomatoes. You will make this for the whole pictograph. Each picture in this pictograph stands for 5 tomatoes. So if I ask you how many tomatoes did the farmer pick in day 1, you will not count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No, we will count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he picked in day 1 30 tomatoes. Okay, in day 2. Don't say he picked 4 tomatoes. No. He picked each picture here from the key. Each picture in this pictograph means 5 tomatoes. That means here we have 5 and 5 and 5 and 5. Okay, in day 3, finally in day 4, okay, if I asked you how many tomatoes did the farmer pick on the first day, we said in the first day he picked 30 tomatoes. So we will answer, our answer will be 30. 30 tomatoes. Okay? Okay. How many tomatoes did the farmer pick in the second day? In day 2. Don't say 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not true. Count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. He picked 20 tomatoes. Okay? In the day 3, he picked 5, 10, 15, 20. He picked also 20 tomatoes. And in the day 4, let's count 5, 10, 15. He picked 15 tomatoes. Okay, let's answer question 2. What day did the farmer pick the most tomatoes? In which day did the farmer pick a big number of tomatoes? The most of tomatoes? In day 1, right? The bigger number here, the biggest number here is 30. We have in day 1, he picked 30. In day 2, he picked 20. In day 3, he picked 20 also. In day 4, he picked 15. That means what the day did the farmer pick the most tomatoes, that means it will be day 1. Day 1. Okay. Question 3. Which days did the farmer pick the same amount of tomatoes? Which days did the farmer pick the same amount of tomatoes, the same number of tomatoes? In which days? Yeah, he picked in day 2 20 tomatoes, and he picked in day 3 also 20 tomatoes. Okay? In day 2 and day 3. Day 2 and day 3. Day 2 and day 3. Okay, this question consists of 2 questions. This is the first question. The second question is, how many did he pick in total both of those days? He wants to know how the total number of tomatoes did he pick in these 2 days. He picked in the day 2 20, and day 3 also he picked 20. I want to know the total number of tomatoes in those 2 days. The total number, that means I want to know how many tomatoes in altogether in these 2 days. 20 plus 20. I will make it 20 plus 20. Okay, we'll draw a slash like this to answer the second question. How many did he pick in total both of those 2 days? He picked 40 tomatoes. 40 tomatoes. Question number 4. What's the difference between the number of tomatoes picked on day 3 and day 4? What's the difference between the number of tomatoes picked on day 3 and day 4? The difference, do you know what's the meaning of the difference? Yeah, the difference means you will use subtraction. Subtraction minus sign. Yeah, I want the difference between day 3 and day 4. He picked in day 3 20, and he picked in day 4 15. So if you want to write the subtraction sentence, always start with the biggest number, 20 minus 15. We know that 20 minus 15, you can start with 15 and count until you get 20. 20 minus 15 equals 5 tomatoes. Okay. The last question. How many tomatoes in total did he pick for this season? How many tomatoes in total means in all. How many tomatoes in all did he pick for this season? That means I will add all numbers of tomatoes. The number of tomatoes that he picked in day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and day 4. That means I will add 30 plus 20 plus 20 plus 15. Okay, let's start to add. 30 plus 20 plus 20 plus 15. Okay. 30 plus 20 equals 50. 30 plus 20 equals 50. Okay. And 20 plus 15. 20 plus 15 equals 35. 35. Okay, add 50 plus 35. 50 plus 35, add the ones plus the ones, and tens plus the tens. The ones here, 0 plus 5 equals 5. And 5 plus 3 equals 8. So he picked 85 tomatoes in this season. Okay, so this is our session for today. The pictograph. We said the pictograph means the picture graph. And the picture graph means you will use pictures to show information. And the important thing in the pictograph is the key. The key tells you how many each picture in this picture graph stands for. If I want to know how many tomatoes the farmer picked in day one, don't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. This picture tells you that each picture in this pictograph stands for 5 tomatoes. So we will write 5 for each picture in this picture graph. I hope you understand grade 2. If you have any question, ask me in the extra care sessions, inshallah. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.